Okay, so welcome everybody to another season. What's up?
My husband's health insurance just changed, and I forgot to put my card in.
It's okay. We'll get it from you. So I want to welcome everybody to another 18-19 school year. All right, it's very exciting. It's going into my second year as athletic director. I'm hoping the meeting goes a little smoother than it did last year. All right, I feel like, that was a lot of room for improvement. So the code of conduct. There is, if you have a friend that can't make tonight, there is a makeup meeting, which is August 12th, which is Sunday night at 6 p.m. Tell all your friends that missed the meeting tonight. I want to apologize if I have to sit down. I hurt my back, and it's like killing me. So if I'm walking around like I'm 100, I apologize. I may have to sit. So, but hopefully we don't. So let's jump right in. We're going to go through the code of conduct, then we're going to talk about practice times, and then we're going to talk about the academic policy. Last year was our first year with the new academic policy. I thought it was very successful. I really liked it. And at the end, we'll have a lot of opportunity for questions. So the first thing, ejections. Bottom line, don't get thrown out of a game. If you get thrown out of a game, that's a red card or unsportsmanlike in football, you get ejected. You're sitting that game and the game after. That's New York State law. All right. You can also be punished beyond that. I just want to make sure additional games can be added by the administration, by the coaches, or the bowl. Speaking of administration, Bolt here tonight. I'll say a few words just to get us started.
He's getting old, that's why he has to sit. I want you to know that it's great to see all these student athletes because we find that kids are involved in extracurriculars. They do much better in school. And I just wanted to say that we are very supportive of each other. So when there is an issue with the academics, Mr. Capoletti and I tag team with the student to make sure that the following week they try to get off the failure list, as well as their behaviors. If you're sent to the office and written up for something, I call him up if you're an athlete and show him the write-up, and then we discuss too. So when you read the athletic code of conduct, there's a piece in there about your behavior. So that behavior is all across the board. In school, on the field, we tag team on that. So hopefully we won't have any problems this year. And good luck and have a great season.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. Howell, at 6:20, I want you to just remind me when it's 6:20. All right, thank you. I have my watch on. All right, so can't get kicked out of a game. And Mrs. Bold is great. Anything arises, we're going to work together. So if it's school day, after school, remember, once you sign the code of conduct, after tonight, you are now a part under the code of conduct, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the entire season. So we'll get to the other stuff in a minute. So don't get kicked out. Attendance. You need to be in school every day at 8:12. If you're absent 3 times during the season, unexcused, you sit a game. All right? 3 times unexcused. Well, I have 6 doctor's appointments from now till the beginning of November. Well, those are excused. Just bring a note in. Those are all excused. All right? Unexcused. I was playing Fortnite till 4 a.m. and I need to sleep through the first 2 periods. That would be unexcused. All right. And again, we're going to do a good job of this year of watching, paying attention. We don't want you coming in at 11:30 the day after a game. The one thing I'm going to say all night, we are an academic institution first. All right? As much as I love sports, grades come first, period. All right? Behavior. So I put in great big bold letters, the behavior clause. It's very gray. Yes, it is. Good behavior and conduct are required of all student athletes at all times. Okay? So, good behavior all the time. All right? So, and again, personal fouls, technicals, yellow cards, etc. I didn't get kicked out, but I got 4 yellow cards, or I got 6 unsportsmanlike. All right? Mr. Capoletti will be paying a visit to you. You're not going to get, 2 or 3 unsportsmanlikes. I think Mr. Fee, we were just talking today about you get a yellow unsportsmanlike, there will be a team punishment. Okay? So it's important to us. Sportsmanship is important to us. It's so important that last year you did such a good job. We were the Allegheny County Sportsmanship Champion. All right? Yeah, if you didn't know that, the big banner goes in the gym. We were the best sportsmanship in the county overall. So that's very good. All right, so congratulations to all the athletes. Because that's not me, that's all of you. Nice job. All right, missing practices or games. Big bold letters. All right, here we go. If you don't come to, I'm sick for 4 days in a row. I'm in school, I'm out of school, and you know what? I don't tell anybody. Okay? That's not acceptable. We live in the modern world. There's lots of communication devices in this world. All right? You can reach me via about 9 different ways. All right? First time, failure to do so will result in a suspension from the coach or the athletic director. Second time, you're dismissed. Talk to your coaches. All right? Talk to your coaches. Talk to me. Question? Okay. All right, missing practices. And this is a clause, and again, these aren't new rules. These are just rules that we've had around for a long time. If you go away for 5 consecutive days, you instantly become ineligible. All right? You've missed 5 days in a row. Your body cannot sustain it for more than that. All right? You lose something. So then you have to have 3 days of practice. Warm up before the game does not count as a practice. I've actually called Section 5 on this because we had a couple of questions last year. Well, if they warm up before the game, does that mean that's another practice? No. Okay? No. So, miss 5 days, got to have 3 practices. Miss 3 or 4 consecutive days, you need 2 reconditioning practices. And a practice is its own day and at least 45 minutes long of sport-specific workout. All right, 10% rule. Keep that jersey on. All right, what are you talking about? We haven't had this in a couple of years, which very happy. 10% rule. Let's say Coach Tony is a Cuba-Rushford football player. Usually an example, all right, Tony? It's the middle of the third quarter. He's unhappy. He rips his jersey off and he leaves. Or he just leaves. You are instantly ineligible for 10% of the season. You are immediately suspended. Okay? So keep that jersey on. Stay in the game. Maybe you're not happy. Maybe you're going to stay. Maybe you don't want to play anymore. You're going to be with your team. You can't just leave. All right? We are a team. At the end of the day, what's our goal here? Hard work, teamwork, dedication. All right? Those aren't jokes to me. All right? I take those very, very serious. I'm very dedicated to Cuba-Rushford. All right? So I want you to be also. All right, substance abuse. Here we go. The 25, 50, and 1 year rule. So, includes vapes, e-cigs, Juuls, etc., cigarettes, tobacco products. What else? Cigars, any tobacco products, any kind of vapor product, obviously drugs and alcohol. All right, that your first offense is 25% of the season. All right, so if you play a 10-game season, 25% of that season would be what? Tony? Okay, it'd probably be 2 or 3 games. I don't know. Okay, 25%, it's 2.5. Okay? All right, now, very important, and I used to say this to players, if you're at a party and you're not drinking, but there's alcohol at the party, if you're at the party and the party gets busted, and there's alcohol at that party and I get your name, it's 25% of the season. You're at the party, there's drugs or alcohol at the party, 25%. Know your friends. Don't be around it. It's just, we haven't had that in years here. Just want to cover our bases. All right? So the first offense is 25%. Second offense is 50%. And the third offense is a calendar year from the date of the offense. Now, let's talk about this. After the fall season, tardies get wiped away. All right? The academic policy will get wiped away. But we're going to call these the bigger penalty. These stay with you. Okay? These stay with you. The first time you get caught, it's 25%. The second time you get caught, it's 50%. Third time, it's calendar year. PE. I don't think we had this last year, but if you're failing gym, physical education, you are ineligible until the next report comes out. Now, there's the good news. The reports come out every Monday morning. We'll talk about that with the academic policy. All right, but the reports do come out every Monday morning. So if you're failing on Monday and you got 4 games that week, guess what? You're ineligible for all 4. Okay, well, what about the football player? He's only got 1 game that week. Yep, but he only plays 8 games on the whole year. All right, so it's for the week. No matter how many games you have, if you have 30, which would probably be illegal. All right, the academic policy. So I'm going to explain this. And remember, the full version of the academic policy and the code of conduct is available on our website under Parents and Community. You can download it all. It's in PDF version, any phone, your tablet, your home computer. If you want some good reading, read our code of conduct. All right? This is a nice chart that we like to live by. Now, the chart, again, I'm going to go slow and I apologize if I confuse anyone, but it is spelled out in detail on the full version. Every Monday at 7 a.m. How are we doing on time, Mr. How? 6:15. 6:15, all right. Every Monday at 7 a.m., I get a report of all the failures for grades 6 through 12 this year. And I compare it to all the rosters. All right? And I look. And if you're failing 2 or 3 subjects, you are on step 1. Step 1 is a warning. You can continue practicing and continue playing in contests. If you're failing 1 subject, you're not even on the list. You're not even a part of it. All right? So, that's very important. You're allowed to fail 1. Hate saying that. Shouldn't fail any. But you're allowed to fail 1. 2 or 3, and you're on step 1. What happens if you fail 4? It's easy to remember. If you're failing 4, you go to step 4. All right? If you're failing 4, you immediately, it doesn't matter if you've never gotten a warning. If you're failing 4 subjects, there's bigger problems. We need to help you, help yourself, and get you off that failure list. You are not practicing. You are not playing. You're not going to practice. You are focusing on your grades. 4 is 4. All right, so step 1, I'm failing 2 subjects. It's a warning. We talk to you, I'll mail a letter home. All right, some of you may have gotten one of my letters from last year. It's just real simple. Your child has these grades. They're on step so-and-so until such and such. All right. The next Monday, 7 a.m., I get the failure list. They're not on it. Or they're 1 are not on it. They're off. All right? But if they're on for 2 or 3, then they go to step 2. Step 2 gets serious right away. If you notice, no contests. No games. So if it's in the fall, you're playing games the first week of school. So as soon as I start getting those failure lists, it's affecting your games. In the winter, you're going to have 6 weeks of practice. All right? So if you're on step 2 or 3, where you can continue to practice and no contest, you're like, no big deal. All right? But we'll talk about that in a minute. So I'm failing 2 weeks in a row, step 2. Failing 2 3 weeks in a row, step 3. Step 2 and 3 are identical. Right? Identical. Step 4, if you're on for 4 weeks in a row, step 4, you're not allowed to go to practice. You're not allowed to play any games. All right? And if you're on for 5 weeks in a row, you are off. It breaks my heart. I don't want this. I'll do everything in my power to help you, because we'll be talking for 4 straight weeks about how to get you off that failure list. But if you're on for 5 straight weeks you are off the team, you're off the roster. You have to work. We, as a school community, have to help you pass school because we are an academic institution first. All right? We can't be failing for 5 weeks in a row. That means you're looking at failing for the year. You failed half a quarter. There's bigger problems. All right, so let's talk another scenario. I'm on week 1. I'm on the failure list. There's my warning. I'm off week 2. I'm failing 3 subjects week 4. Right? So first week of October, I'm on the failure list again. I instantly go to step 2. You only get 1 warning. It's easy to remember. You only get 1 warning. And you've used it up, so you restart at 2. All right, you restart at 2. So, step 2, step 3, is there a question? Thank you. We're doing great on time. Sorry I'm not keeping you long tonight. I feel like we're just moving right through this. It's exciting stuff. All right, so step 1 is a warning. You only get 1 warning a quarter. So let's say you have a really tough fall. All right, I have a tough fall. I wasn't ready to start school. My mind was still on the beaches. All right, so I had a tough fall. I ended up getting removed from the football team. I want to play basketball. You start every season with a clean slate. We wipe the slate clean and we start again. Because you are all children. And maybe you had a rough start, work again, and it's a week-to-week policy. All right, so it's really important. All right. Anybody have any questions about anything with the academic policy or any questions? Okay, great. Like I said, you only get 1 warning. Miss Ralston, Mrs. Bull, how might? Okay. Practice times. You're going to meet with your coaches tonight. So that is there. I'll leave that up after. All right. Football is on the next page. All right. But I'll leave that up if you want to take a picture of that. And obviously, what do they stand for? Varsity girls soccer, modified girls soccer, varsity boys soccer, modified boys soccer, varsity girls volleyball, JV girls volleyball, modified girls volleyball, and cross country. Modified girls volleyball practices at the elementary gym. All right, good to know. Varsity boys soccer, Coach Perillo is not here tonight. He'll be back next Monday, bright and early. Varsity boys soccer at 8:30. So if you're a varsity boys soccer player, I'm done talking now, say, go, Coach, just come here to me and turn in your sheet. I'll take attendance through that sheet. All right, I can take attendance through that sheet tonight. All right, and then we can move forward with practice. Very important, if your coach tells you that you have no physical, because they have a roster, and Ms. Kuss and I went through, thank you, Sally, and we went through all with Mrs. Botens, all the physicals. So if we tell you there's no physical next to your name, the school does not. We didn't make that up. The school does not have a physical. You cannot go to practice. Okay, you can't even go. And I made that clear to the coaches earlier. We had a quick meeting. Varsity football is 3 to 7:30 in the evenings. Modified football is 3 to 5 in the evenings. Okay. Important dates. So next Monday, I'm excited, is our first practice for varsity and JV football. Here's the good news or bad news, however you want to take it. This upcoming school year, we start early and we run late. All right, graduation is June 29th, 27th. All right, that's pretty late. All right, that's pretty late in the calendar year. And we start early. August 13th is early. Usually it's around the 16th to 17th. So, very important. August 20th, first practice for modified sports. All modified sports are starting on the 20th. All right. And August 31st, football opens up at BR. That'll be an exciting opener this year. All right, Coach, let's pay attention. All right, any questions? Miss Ralston. Yep, no problem. Okay, so Ms. Ralston will follow that on Twitter. That's something I should have talked about. So I put a lot of information on the Twitter. If you partake in that, it's an easy way to get the message out. I will put Facebook messages on from time to time, but 99% of our messages go through Twitter. It's easy. A lot of people seem to be on it, and it's easy access. And again, I went to a lot of games last year. I want to see you there. I want to see great sportsmanship. I'm excited. Any questions before I say where the coaches are going to go? So don't move till I tell you where the coaches are going. Any questions about anything? All right, so we're going to go. Football is going to go by the piano. Wait till I'm all done, please. Cheerleading, Coach Brown. Wave. Coach Brown is going to go right there against that wall. Fall cheerleading. Okay? Modified girls soccer with Coach Thorington right there against that wall. We're going to go modified football. We'll be in the corner. Varsity boys soccer is coming up right here. Coach White. Coach White. Raise your hand. Okay? Aaron White, Cuba PD, is taking over girls varsity soccer. We're very excited to have him on board this year. All right? He's going to do great things for us. He's going to meet with the girls varsity soccer team by that fire alarm sign in the far back corner. Is that okay, Aaron? Okay. Cross country is going to meet in the library. All right, throwing a curveball at me. JV volleyball. Right here. Varsity girls volleyball right here. Who am I missing? Modified boys. Rob, wave your hand. We are excited to have more White family members here. Rob White's going to do our boys modified soccer. Rob's going to do a great job for us. Excited to have him here. He's going to meet against that wall about halfway up. Modified boys soccer. Girls varsity soccer. Who's way back there? Cheerleading. Modified girls soccer. Volleyball here. Football there. Cross country in the library. You need to make sure you have attendance with your coach. I can't thank you all enough. It's so happy to be back. Here we go.